Hello everyone. It's James again. And in today's video, I want to talk about histrionic personality disorder, or better known as the attention seeker. You see, oftentimes, many of these personality disorders will overlap each other, and oftentimes a disordered person will have many of these disorders all at the same time. And oftentimes histrionic personality disorder overlaps with narcissistic personality disorder. And sadly, since both men and women have this problem, if a woman displays the histrionic side, depending on her symptoms she shows, she might wrongly be seen as a victim, rather than the one manipulating someone that is innocent. In order to gain the attention, they seek to fulfill the urges they get inside of themselves that makes them do what they do. I mention this because sadly I have to. Because sadly, we live in a world where we want to wrongly classify bad people into a certain group, such as male or female, when there are bad and good in both groups. And when you profile or label a certain type of people as being bad or always wrong, in this case men, it leaves the door wide open for women that have this problem to get away with a lot of bad behavior before anyone catches on. And the reason being, part of this disorder is acting like the victim, while they manufacture an adversary. Usually this adversary they create is an unsuspecting, overly trusting, nice person. Oftentimes women that have this problem are overt about their sexuality. But in my opinion, there are also some that aren't, because they get their attention other ways, such as manufactured medical problems, otherwise known as Munchausen syndrome. But histrionic plays a huge role in this problem as well. Or this person might always have financial issues they are always needing help with, such as their roommate seems to always be kicking them out of the house. And now they are on the steps crying, while calling, trying to get people on their side, while hoping someone will try to help fix their problems for them. Histrionics are masters at creating problems, and getting others to rally around them to fix this problem that this disordered person, in a very sneaky way, created, all to get the attention they are now getting. Histrionics often talk a lot to you about other people that are doing them wrong, and they always seem to have a big issue to deal with, far worse than anything that you think people should have to deal with on a day-to-day basis. It's like they are a walking magnet for drama. And sadly, there are times in every normal person's life where they have bad things happen. But these people, year after year, seem to have never-ending problems. Problems they are needing your or others' support for. And what makes these types of people dangerous is they are highly manipulative. That's what they are doing all day every day. Manipulating people for their end result to appear someone as a victim, and the other the abuser. So this will result in gaining some sort of attention for themselves. What makes this so dangerous, especially for men? These are the type of women that will construct or try to create a domestic violence situation, where you, as the male, will get into trouble and go to jail, so they can now walk around with the title of being a battered woman. I say this to not detract from real women that are abused, because I've stated over and over that men and women can abuse and do abuse each other equally, because there are bad and good in both genders. The problem is disordered women in this instance have the ability of lying in order to gain attention, by creating a fight with a non-abusive man, calling the police, lying, and then getting him charged with domestic abuse. This is not only important things to know for men, but this is important for women to know that have young boy children, so you can prepare themselves on how to avoid being taken advantage of in such a manner. Usually you can tell a histrionic right away, though they might try to hide their behavior. They oftentimes have a hard time doing so. Here's a good tip when meeting someone new. If they show up to a new relationship with a laundry list of problems, run. If you have a gut instinct they are a good person, but they just are in a bad life patch, make sure you are very careful to self-assess periodically as to what is going on, to make sure you don't get sucked into a relationship with someone that has a personality disorder. Make sure you can see the forest from the trees. Make sure if something seems a bit off you don't drop your guard. Also, don't try to fix this person's problem. It's okay to be nice and helpful, but have some boundaries. You have to ask yourself, more than likely they had these problems before they met you. How did they get along and survive? Well, I'm sure they got along just fine. So it's okay to be nice and helpful at times. But there's no need to take on the responsibility for someone else's life and their problems. You see, histrionics love to find people pleasers. And just like the narcissist might use their sexuality as a way to get into a relationship, then they will spill their problems all over the place for you to help them. and take on these problems as if they are your own. Now, though, most of the literature out there on this topic talks about these people being highly sexual. And I do agree with this. However, don't be thrown off because there are many out there that might not come on using their sexuality to still manufacture toxic situations to gain attention from others. They may use another method to catch you off guard. And the reason being is, these types are masters of manipulation. They are masters at turning people against one another. And they are masters at being blameless. And the reason why they are masters at being blameless is the role they love the most is being the victim. That's a role they can milk for years and even decades. Whatever situation they have created to gain attention from, they will protect it as if it's a valuable possession. And it will do anything to keep the charade going. And again, they oftentimes do this to unsuspecting, very nice people pleasers. This is why, in any relationship, no matter it be a new friend you meet, or a new person you are dating, take your time to get to know this person. Don't lay all of your life cards out on the table. Because anything you put out there, a toxic person can use this to manipulate you into their toxic mess. Again, it's okay to be helpful and kind. But you don't have to take on someone's life burden. And you have to ask yourself, if drama seems to follow this person everywhere they go, is all of this normal? And again, taking the time to assess any situation and your involvement with such a person. The worst thing to do is get zipped into such a situation with such a person. Because more times than not they will turn your niceness against you. And get you to look like an abuser. Or even worse. Because this is done to you. All in the name of gaining attention for themselves. If you think you are dating or involved with someone that is toxic, it's a good idea to read about the various personality disorders. Because you will not only learn a lot about what's going on with a person you are dealing with, but you will also learn why it's dangerous for you if you stay with this person. Like I always say, knowledge is power. The more we know, the more we can live happy and healthy lives. Until next time. Bye for now. And be good to yourself.